The Packers' number one offense was the clear winner on Saturday when they went up against the Rams in their first ranked defense. They put up 488 yards, 32 points, 28 first downs, and had no turnovers or sacks. A big part of the Packers and Matt LaFleur's game plan was to utilize RPOs and access throws. The Rams' defense doesn't give you much, so when you can exploit a numbers advantage, you have to take the opportunity. The RPOs that the Packers used weren't flashy, but they consistently got the Packers positive yards and kept them on schedule against the Rams' defense. The Packers used this two-back RPO with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon 7 separate times against the Rams. While they handed it off every time, before the Rams adjusted to this look, they were getting 5 yards per carry off of it. What this play was doing for the Packers was removing a player from the box. The Rams base out of 2 high safeties, which already leaves them pretty light at the line of scrimmage. They trust that their front will control the offensive line, which allows their safeties to fit and fill the run gaps from depth. By motioning Aaron Jones out wide to run a bubble and keeping A.J. Dillon in to run their zone scheme, they pull the only linebacker the Rams have out of the box to cover the bubble. That leaves 5 linemen on 5 defensive linemen, and it's up to the safeties to be the free hitters and make the tackle. All Aaron Rodgers is reading here is whether he has a numbers advantage in the box. As soon as that linebacker bumps out, he knows he's handing it off. The Packers always ran this running back bubble motion to the field because of how the Rams were aligning. Out of that 2-back set, the Rams put their linebacker Troy Reeder to the field and the receiver strength. The Packers would run the outside zone to the boundary away from that motion. The Packers knew that the Rams' adjustment to this motion was to bump that field linebacker out so that the defense maintains numbers to the receiver strength. The Rams continued to do this and allow that 5-on-5 matchup with their front all the way into the second half. Even when the Rams went to a 4-2 front with 2 linebackers, it still left them shorthanded in the box. As long as that linebacker keeps bumping out and giving the numbers advantage to his offensive line, Rodgers is going to keep handing the ball off. With 8:30 left in the third quarter, the Rams finally made an adjustment to stop it. Now on that motion, the linebacker still bumps out, but the safety now immediately comes down to replace him and give the Rams a man advantage at the line of scrimmage. On the 2 plays where they made this adjustment, the Packers ran for a 2-yard gain, and then on the next play, they fumbled. After that, they never ran it again. In part because A.J. Dillon got hurt and they didn't like the 2-back sets without him, but it was also a pretty effective adjustment by the Rams. While the Packers never actually threw this bubble, I can almost guarantee that they'll have a wrinkle in that will come out in the championship game against Tampa Bay or in the Super Bowl where they work a double move with the blockers. While it wasn't an RPO, in the game against the Rams, the Packers did show the same 2-back set and motion out wide to the bubble, but they used a pure drop back off of it. Both times they hit Davante Adams on a slant away from the motion. The motion makes people bump over and create space in the middle of the field. That allows for a true one-on-one outside for Davante Adams and a lot of space to work with. The Packers also used a lot of shifts and motions and implemented some of their RPOs into those movements. Here, Davante Adams is shifting over to a twins look at the top of the screen. With the corner at the top walked up in press and the defender following Adams over, Rodgers knows that it's man coverage. Against that look, he likes the bubble outside to Adams because it gives the Packers an extra blocker. What's clever about this and what speaks to Allen Lazard's football IQ and the coaching for the Packers is that since this is man coverage and the corner over Adams is way off, Lazard can release vertically for a few steps to run his man off the ball. He knows that the corner will turn to the sideline and it'll give more space for Adams to work. Lazard isn't going to block that guy though. His job is to block the man over Adams because he's the free defender. Lazard creates space by pushing vertically, then comes in to get a piece of the slot defender, essentially getting a 2-for-1 block and allowing Adams to pick up the first down with space outside. While it's out of a different formation, here we basically have the same concept as what we saw with the 2-back sets from the Packers and motioning Aaron Jones out. If someone bumps over with the motion to cover the bubble, Rodgers hands it off. If they don't, he throws it. These are pre-snap reads. Rodgers knows by the snap of the ball what the defense has done to adjust and whether he's going to throw it or hand it off. That motion and threat of the bubble or arrow outside influences the defense and moves guys out of position. As a result, big holes can start to open up with a numbers advantage shifting to the offense. The Packers used that same motion and read on the first touchdown of the game to Davante Adams. Nobody leaves the box to help cover the motion by Adams. Adams has leverage on Jalen Ramsey, and Rodgers knows before the snap that he has the throw open in the flats. Instead of handing the ball off, he pulls the ball and throws it for a quick touchdown. All RPOs are basically a numbers game. If the Packers had the number somewhere, that's where the ball was going. The Packers have some really good blocking receivers in MVS and Allen Lazard, so Rodgers trusts that if he throws the ball, they're going to be able to make something happen afterwards. While they didn't hit it during this game, the Packers also have a wrinkle off of that bubble look for the other receivers where they run spot routes to attack defenders that overflow to the bubble. If the man over the bubble route chases, the middle slot player will curl up in the spot right where they vacated. It's a live read for Rodgers, and he can decide to give the ball or throw that spot right behind the chasing defender. To finish things up, the Packers have a really simple access throw bubble to the single receiver if they see off coverage. They only ran this while under center, and it's a pure pre-snap read for Rodgers. By bubbling, the receiver is pulling the defender even further from contributing to run support. The Packers showed this a couple times, and at the end of the game, they finally threw it to Adams. It's a true one-on-one in the open field. With the amount of cushion, it gives Adams time to react and make a move to gain yards. These RPOs took precision and really good execution from the Packers to be able to move the ball. They didn't try to press and attack where the Rams had the numbers. They just trusted their players to make plays in one-on-one situations. All of these little plays add up, and while they may be dinks and dunks, eventually you pop a big one because defenses are so concerned about you throwing those RPOs and access throws. The small designs and wrinkles that are continually added in are setting the Packers up for success, and the way the offense is operating right now, it doesn't look like anybody is going to be able to stop them. Hey guys, make sure to check out the Patreon for weekly game picks, some extra bonus content and video breakdowns every week. There's also early releases for these full breakdowns. You can donate just $1 a month, and that gives you access to all of it. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time, I'm Casey Sully, and I'll see you on the next film breakdown.